Hi everyone, this is Luann, and I'm here with an addendum to my Manila mini album folder. I created this album, and sorry guys for the lighting, I have two lights and it just creates a whole ton of shadows, and it's still light out too. I created this album a couple days ago with the tutorial that I have on YouTube, and this album has the pocket here and the side pocket here and this sheet that opens up. And that's it. And I also have this mini album, or yeah, the Manila mini album folder, that it's the same thing. I cut it a little bit wider because I wanted this to be wider, but the difference to this one, between this one and this one, is that there's an added flap here that allows you more room for pictures. There's that one, and I also have this one here. These are two smaller ones that come up individually. So I'm going to show you what the addition is to this one, or to the side top flap here. So for my original mini album, which is this one, once you cut out your manila folder, it should look like this, like that. You have these two side flaps that will help close out your pocket. I didn't add my hinge here yet, but once you add your hinge, you will glue these two sides down and you'll create your pocket and this side pocket here. So this is my original design for this one. Now for my other album with the pockets, your sheet is going to look like this, and I'm going to give you the measurements for this one. So here it is. I know the side looks a little weird. And to this next mini album that I'm going to do, this is going to be for my son's, it's going to be my son's first baby book mini album. He's about 1.5 and he doesn't have one. My daughter's 3.5 and she also does not have one. So once I'm done with his, I'm going to start with hers. But I'm not going to create any, three-dimensional embellishments because I don't want the book to be bulky and I like them to kind of lay shut. If I do add anything, I do add hinges or extra space so that my book will still be able to lie flat. So what I did here, I scored in my initial video. The fold is 2.5 inches. The pocket here is 2.5 inches. This is 2 inches. So I have 2 inches, 7.5 inches, and for the top flap, it's 1/2 inch. So my total measurement is still 10 inches. But again, I scored at 2 inches here, and then I rotated it and scored at 1/2 inch here. So my center is still 7.5 inches tall. You can adjust that based on based on the size that you need your album to be. If you still want the 2.5 inch pocket here, you would cut it out at 10.5 inches. And let me pull out a folder. When I say cutting it out at 10.5 inches, this is the folder. You're cutting it 10.5 inches this way, so you'll be cutting excess here. So that is the pocket and the top flap. Now for this one, the mini album that I just showed you doesn't have the side flap here, but I did mention it in one of my other videos that it would be really neat to have. And basically what I did here is I cut these at an angle, because this is what's going to hold your pocket down, and then I cut these at an angle so that when you put your paper on top, I'm just going to use this as an example. This is here. You can either use 2 pieces of paper or you can fold a sheet of cardstock. You're essentially, let me put this back this way. Basically what you'll be doing is you'll be adding adhesive here and here, and you're going to lay your paper here and just butt it up to the edge of the flap and just fold it over. And there you go. Now I don't know if you can tell, but the cardstock here, it's a little bit wider and it comes out on the outside of the manila folder, so that when you fold it or place your other sheet of paper over it, you don't see it. Bring that up. So you don't see it. And I folded it on the top, so obviously you're not going to see it there. But once you glue it down, you're able to open it this way. And it gives you even more room for journaling or photos. and you can adjust the size to this side flap to whatever you need it to be, and the same thing with here. You're going to be cutting it the same way. Just measure out, you know, once you know what photo you'll be putting here, you can adjust the measurement here, but you'll just cut it at an angle like so, and then just cut these little tabs out. Sorry, I can't see. I'm blind as a bat, seriously. Okay, so we'll be cutting that out. Oops, and I totally went crooked there. There you go. So that's it. So this will give you, this is actually good for a 6x4 photo mat. And for the other side, let's say you want to have the 2 pockets, just find your center. Just gonna eyeball it, and you're gonna cut out pieces there. You want there to be a gap in between, because you will need space in between your 2 photos so that when you open them, they don't, you know, they don't knock the other one over. You know, they fight over space. So basically that's all you're doing. Now on the inside flap, make sure that when you glue down your photo mats, you don't have them too close to your center. If you glue them down too close to the center, grab a small, I don't have anything smaller, I should have had something handy. Okay, so if you glue it, here's my center here, but if you glue it close to the center, when you fold your book, it's gonna buckle. So make sure you leave, you know, a few millimeters space. Give it room so that when you fold your book, it'll fold nice and flat and it won't buckle. And the same with these bottom pockets. Just make sure that you do cut enough out so that when you do fold it, it won't buckle. No, my first tutorial, I just cut 2, I think it was 2 or almost 3 millimeters, and it was just a smidge too small, so I had to cut a little, just a tiny bit more. So this is the addendum to my mini album, my Manila mini album folder. I know it's a mouthful. So there you go. Here are all of your hinges for your flaps. And again, if you need your book to be wider or smaller, just readjust the measurements. If you have any questions, let me know, but it's pretty simple. And again, if you have any questions, let me know, and happy crafting.